Welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. National Assembly Information Day on Children's Rights in Parliament. Civil Protection France-Djibouti Cooperation launch ceremony for the future International Civil Defense School. And on international scene in Israel, War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz resigns from Netanyahu's government. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our blog viewers. An information workshop for parliamentarians within the framework of the Memorandum of Understanding between the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the Parliament of the Republic of Djibouti was held under the chairmanship of Mr. Deleta Mohamed Deleta, President of the National Assembly, and in the presence of UNICEF Djibouti representative Mrs. Beth Dastel. The National Assembly, the UNICEF representative, expressed her deep satisfaction at the organization of this workshop, which followed the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. In her speech, Ms. Beth Dastel expressed her deep gratitude to the President of the Parliament for his constant support. She emphasized the crucial role of this workshop in strengthening awareness and commitment among legislators in favor of children's rights. In alignment with the areas of cooperation defined in the Memorandum essential to achieving these ambitious goals and ensuring the well-being of every child, the workshop laid the foundations for interactive, inclusive, knowledge-sharing and enriching dialogue with parliamentarians benefiting from the expertise of the UNICEF framework to improve their understanding of the rights ensured in the International Convention of the Rights of the Child adopted by the UN on November 20, 1989, and to ensure better application of these draft laws in the Djiboutian reality. In his speech at the launch of the workshop, Mr. Deleta Mohamed Deleta, President of the National Assembly, underlined the vital importance of this workshop, which addresses the important issue of children and their legal protection. The President of the Parliament recalled that the Republic of Djibouti was one of the first countries in the world to ratify the Convention on the Rights of the Child in December 1990, 1 year after its adoption by the United Nations General Assembly. By preserving and promoting maximum conditions for the education and development of early childhood and youth, we are laying the foundations for a prosperous future for our country, he declared. Still in the National Assembly, where under the chairmanship of Djibouti Abdurrahman Awali Yassin, the Foreign Affairs Commission met on Monday to examine draft law number 116/N/24/9L authorizing ratification on the treaty establishing the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD. The meeting was attended by Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and government spokesman. After fruitful exchange, the Foreign Affairs Commission approved the ratification project and forwarded to the a public meeting with a favorable opinion from the commissioners. Still at the National Assembly, where the second part of the agenda was devoted to the examination of Bill number 120/N/24/9L on the ratification of the additional financing agreement for the economic management and development of statistics project. This working session led by the Honorable Abdurrahman Awali Yassin, the Foreign Affairs Commission extended to the Finance, General Economy and Planning Commission. The government was represented by Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawali, Minister of Economy and Finance, in charge of industry, accompanied by their close collaborators. Following the discussions, the commissioners approved the transmission to the public session of the draft ratification of the additional financing agreement for the economic management and development of statistics project with a favorable opinion. Today, Monday, June 10, 2024, at 11 a.m., the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, Mr. Hassan Umar Mohammed Burhan, held a meeting with the UK's Director of International Security, Mr. Nick Gurr, at the reception room of the Hassan Basuma Hassan Hotel, with the aim of reaffirming and strengthening the defense relationship between Djibouti and the United Kingdom. The Director of International Security, Mr. Nick Gurr, expressed the United Kingdom's commitment to further consolidating the relationship, underlying the country's firm commitment to working closely with the Republic of Djibouti. The two sides reaffirmed their commitment to deepening defense relations between Djibouti and the UK exploring ways of strengthening cooperation in various fields, and shared their perspectives on the dynamics of regional security. Finally, Mr. Nick Gur expressed his gratitude to the Minister of Defense for his visit and reaffirmed his admiration for the Republic of Djibouti's unwavering commitment to promoting stability and also security in the region.
موقتها يسكريو إنا تغيي تالكي كوباني ما
The Interior Minister, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, received General Regis Klonkombo, the Director of Security and Defense Cooperation, in his office this morning. He was introduced to the Minister by the Director of Civil Protection, Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud. The meeting was also attended by the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin. The General Regis, Director of Security and Defense Cooperation, took the opportunity to explain the purpose of his visit to the Minister. The visit by the Director of Security and Defense Cooperation from Paris was part of the launch of the International School of Civil Protection in the Republic of Djibouti. The regional school will be built in Nagad under the direction of the Civil Defense. This is why the two heads of the Security Corps were present at the event. A fruitful collaboration, among other things, and material and technical support from the National Police to the Civil Protection Department to ensure that the school sees the light of day. This morning, the Civil Protection Department hosted a ceremony to launch the future International School of Civil Protection. At 6 a.m., the Director of Civil Protection, Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud Dehiye, welcomed General Regis Kolonkom, Director of Security and Defense Cooperation, to his compound. On arrival at the Civil Protection Fire Station, the General reviewed the troops of the Civil Protection Unit. After saluting the flag, Lieutenant General Regis, Director of Security and Defense Cooperation, and the accompanying delegation headed for the office of the Director of Civil Protection, Colonel Mahmoud Musa Mahmoud, where they had an initial discussion in the presence of the Director General of the National Police, Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Kahin. Discussions focused on the future Civil Protection Academy to be set up in the Republic of Djibouti, a school with a regional vocation, a school of excellence where civil protection elements will be trained in security and civil defense techniques. The school will eventually welcome officers from other countries in the region for academic training. The delegation led by Lieutenant General Regis then visited the Idris Farah Bani School in Nagar. Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, Director General of the National Police, explained the academic training provided by the school to officers from regional countries on security techniques. The Director General of the Security and Defense then visited the site where the future International Civil Protection School will be built. Mr. Regis expressed his delight at the choice of the Idris Farah Habani School as the site for this International School of Excellence in Civil Protection to be financed by French cooperation. cleaning up the beach. Aware of the need to preserve the environment, they collected garbage and ensured that the Musha Island remained as beautiful and clean as they have found it. The Secretary of State for Sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, actively participated in this initiative, stressing the importance of protecting the local ecosystem. It is crucial to leave this place as clean, if not cleaner, than we found it. Nature is our most precious treasure and we must protect it, he asserted. This event, the treasure hunt, not only highlighted the talents and creativity of our young people, but also offered a platform to promote local tourism. By choosing Musha Island, the organizers wanted to raise participants' awareness of the beauty and preservation of our exceptional natural sites. Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, Chief of the Armed Forces General Staff, welcomed Major General Itayel Gilau, the new Chairman of the Monitoring and Verification Mechanisms of the Ceasefire and Transition Security Arrangements, accompanied by his predecessor, Major General Hailu Gonfa, to the Director General of International Relations. This meeting marked the first contact between the two parties, during which various subjects of common interest were discussed. Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim warmly congratulated Major General Itayel Gilau on his appointment and expressed his encouragement for the mission ahead. He also thanked Major General Hailu Gonfa for the work accomplished during his mission and his dedication to the cause of peace. During the meeting, several important points were discussed, including the current challenge faced by them, particularly with regard to downsizing due to a lack of funding, as well as South Sudan's first legislative election scheduled for December 2024, held as excellent news for the people of Southern Sudan. The Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces also expressed his best wishes for the restoration of peace in South Sudan, reaffirming Djibouti's commitment to stability and security in the region.
moogtahay askariyo inaad tahay taalkii gobaanimada ugu biyo calankiyo arladu kiyay yirkanayeen moogtahay askariyo
The 47th anniversary of Independence Festivities Caravan led up the Hashdidi Community Development Center CDC on the evening of Sunday, June 9th, 2024. With a rich and varied program, this emblematic event brought together the community of neighborhoods of 1 and 2 in a joyous celebration for our history and national identity. The festivities kicked off with an enthusiastic crowd gathering inside the CDC, eager to take part in this memorable evening. Local artists performed patriotic songs, folk dances, and urban dances, engaging the audience in joyful participation and marking their commitment to the celebration of our independence. The evening was not only a celebration of music and dance, but also an opportunity to pass on testimonies of our independence story. The high officials present also highlighted the actions to be taken during this period of celebration, including the beautification of neighborhoods and the unfurling of flags in homes. And to conclude with our national news, allow me to take you to Dakhil, where a delegation from the Ministry of the Environment and Sustainable Development, led by Mr. Idris Ismail Noor, Director of the Environment, accompanied by Mr. Ahmed Ali Mohammed, Director of Communication, and Director of the Sheikhaiti Project, Mr. Adan Hassan Ilmi, Technical Advisor to the Minister and senior staff from the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, traveled to Dakhil to celebrate the World Environment Day in the Dakhil region. On their arrival in Dakhil, officials from the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development were welcomed by Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble, Prefect of the Dakhil region, and Mr. Ibrahim Abdullah Guru, Vice President of the Dakhil Regional Council. The purpose of this trip was to continue the commemoration of World Environment Day, which kicked off on Wednesday, June of the 5th in Djibouti. This inaugural event brought together various local and national players, highlighting the importance of environmental protection and need to restore degraded ecosystems. Shifting towards our international scenes now, where Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz resigned Sunday evening from the unity government headed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. At a press conference in Tel Aviv, Benny Gantz called on Netanyahu to call early elections as soon as possible. Alas, Netanyahu is preventing us from achieving a real victory, said Gantz, adding to guarantee a real victory, we should hold elections in the autumn, a year after the disaster that will put in place a government that will win the people's trust and be able to meet the challenge. The resigning minister called on Defense Minister Yoav Gallant to resign from Netanyahu's government. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.